First video back from Milan. I really need a haircut. It's been over a month. The unfortunate thing about the surprise trip to Milan was that I was due for a haircut by the time we went to Milan. Why is one of my monitors on and I didn't turn that on? That's really strange. That monitor is never on, ever, because I literally never use that desk. That's almost very weird. But yeah, we're going to CEX today because I've not been to Stafford CEX in a little bit over a week, and I desperately need to film some content for TikTok because what I tend to do is I will go in there, record about 10 videos and then post those over the course of about 5 days. People are like, this guy lives in CEX, he lives in CEX. And I do a little bit, but not to the point that people actually think because of the fact that I'll just mass record videos all in one. You can usually tell by whatever clothes that I'm wearing in those TikToks, or like the state of my hair or whatever. But I need to go to CEX before getting my hair cut because for some reason, I don't know, once my hair's been cut, it's never presentable until I've done it myself. So record all the videos, then get my hair cut, then come back. And then, depending on what time it is, I might even go to a second CEX. I don't know. I'm not after anything. Well, actually, there is a couple of things in particular that I would like today. None of them are particularly expensive. It's just sort of completionist stuff for the shelf. But let's head out, shall we? And check this out as well. At this point, I desperately need to put stuff on the shelf. Each one of these piles, actually several of them, are different CEX hauls that I've done. You guys have all seen them. Every video here, everything in front of me, you guys have seen. TikTok have not. It's been so long since I've done an actual TikTok haul. I'm always just chilling around in CEX. It's been an actual CEX haul on TikTok even. I also need to rearrange these alphabetically because a few weeks ago when I made room on the shelves, the alphabetical order got messed up, and then I also need to move stuff around so that there is actually space because I've been buying PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games, and as you can see, with the current layout of things, there is no space for PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 games. But anyway, let's go get myself a drink and then head off into town. I've got about an hour and a half before my haircut. That means about an hour in CEX filming stuff. Let's go. My car is reminding me that I need to get the MOT done. My partner, Neve, she was like, oh, it's time to get service. I was like, no, it isn't. I looked at my MOT history, right? I have had 3 full services over the space of less than 2,000 miles. I don't think I need a service. That just seems a bit redundant. Not this year. But also, something mental is, we went to Milan last week. Well, I saw a thing on Reddit where some sort of fugitive criminal that was on the run launched himself from the top of the Milan to the floor, and as you can imagine, didn't make it. I've lived on the internet a very long time. I watched the video. There is a video of the fella leaping from the top of Milan, Ezio style, but without a bale of hay at the bottom and just going splat, and the noise it made was insane. But this was literally the day after we left, and we spent a lot of time around the Duomo. Just give it a Google. Man jumps from top of Duomo. Sunday 9th, 10th, something like that. A couple of days ago. The fact that we very nearly witnessed that, could very easily have witnessed that, is wild. That's a strange thought. But also, that guy has subjected him, the people around, to that. The article I saw said that he landed next to a child. Mad. Anyway, I need to head off into town. Let's go. Isn't it a nice sunny day? Although, funnily enough, it has been better weather at home than it was in Milan. I think I managed to get quite a few clips of it being very wet and rainy in Milan. Meanwhile, it was still quite sunny at home. Potentially even higher temperatures. That's fine, because when we went to Rome a few years ago, it was pushing 40, and 40 degrees was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Somebody asked, why do I always park so far away? And it's because you get your steps in. Remember, fitness sort of thing, former fat kid here. One tip to stay not fat is don't park conveniently. Park as far away as you can. All those steps will add up, especially when you're somebody like me that is largely sedentary otherwise when it comes to steps. If you're somebody that works an office job and doesn't get many steps in throughout your day-to-day stuff, purposefully get more steps in via parking far away whenever you do your shopping or go anywhere. Into CEX we go. That's cool. They've got a God of War Collector's Edition with the Steelbook. 225 quid though. if I could get the steelbook on its own. Well, I walked into this CEX and all of a sudden was presented with purpose because I didn't expect to see a boxed version of Pokemon Emerald. Now, I have for quite a while debated backwards and forwards about collecting the Pokemon boxed games because if you were to get them all, you're looking at more than $1,000, maybe more than $2,000. The majority of the Game Boy era and Game Boy Advance era Pokemon games are upwards of 150 quid for the boxed versions, even without the manual. And usually with PlayStation 2, I always get the manual just because I just care a little bit more about that sort of thing. Because I remember when I was a kid, whenever I was bought a game at like Asda or whatever by my nan, on the way home on the bus, I would always be sitting there reading through the manual. I have really fond memories, for example, of specifically Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time and Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones, reading through those manuals on the car journey home. That is a feeling that kids today don't really get. But I never did that with Game Boy games. Game Boy games, it was always Christmas, I would be handed it, and then you'd lob the box just immediately and not care. And it's like, imagine we didn't lob those boxes away. Because let's be real here, the Pokemon games, the price of them is insane given like just how common they are. The Pokemon games beat the rule. Typically, games get expensive because games are rare and demand is high. Yeah? But demand is high for Pokemon, but supply, logically, is also pretty high. Granted, not with the boxes, but the cartridges alone. The cartridge alone for Pokemon Emerald is like £125, and that is nuts given the fact that it must have sold millions upon millions of copies. It isn't like, I don't know, Kuon, that, I don't know, maybe only has a few thousand printed. I don't know how many Kuons there are, but the point is, there is a hell of a lot less Kuons than there is any of the Pokemons, and yet the Pokemons continue to be incredibly high priced. But I saw this Emerald today, and I was like, umming and ahhing as to whether or not I would get it, because the other problem that I have when it comes to collecting Pokemon games is I already own most of them, but absent a box, because I did play a lot of Pokemon on my Game Boy when I was a kid and on DS. So if I were to get the boxed versions, I would be getting duplicates of games that I already own, and I try not to do that too often, except for where I can continue to make content about it, where it might otherwise make sense. Say, for example, I buy Silent Hill Shattered Memories on PlayStation 2 as well as the Wii version because it's good content to point out the price differences between the two. Or, for example, here with this Prince of Persia trilogy, where I've got the original 3 on PS2 as well as the trilogy there. It's one of them. But yeah, it's very interesting that we walked into Stafford today and saw that. This is, I think, the first time that I've been back to Stafford CEX since returning from Milan, and maybe this is the beginning of a rather expensive subsection of games that I begin to collect. It's a good thing I still have some game protectors too, because I did buy a Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku off eBay months and months ago, and when I bought that I was like, I need to get some screen protectors for them, because cardboard is a lot more fragile. People talk about the stickers on PS2 games and stuff damaging the case. You don't have to worry about that. They're plastic cases. They'll be fine. Stickers damage cardboard though, which is, I'm glad I'm very much so not really a cardboard guy. But Pokemon, well, stay tuned. I might come back. I might. That Pokemon Emerald was staring at me. It begins a slippery slope if I buy that Pokemon Emerald, because I do want all of those Pokemon games boxed. I think I have one, just by chance, Game Boy Protector as well. See, what I'm tempted to do is, I've already got my Pokemon Emerald cartridge from when I was a kid, is I'm tempted to buy that Pokemon Emerald, take the game straight out and give it back to CEX for the 90 quid or whatever it is voucher, and then put my Emerald in the box, and then use that 90 quid voucher towards whatever the next Pokemon thing is. Tempted. Very tempted. Stay tuned. Let's go home. If I do come back, I'll have to use Neve's car, because I can't return to the same car park twice in a day. Right, I've gone home. I've picked up a Game Boy Advance game protector cover thing, and now I'm going to go back to town. I've got an hour till CEX shuts. I'm going to go get that and buy that Emerald and sell the original Emerald back. Let's go. Their original Emerald. Keep my Emerald is going in their box. I'm trading their cartridge back in on a voucher to make everything smoother. It won't make this purchase smoother, but it'll make whatever the next Pokemon purchase is £90 cheaper. It'll make sense. Let's go. Okay, walking back through town, once again parked miles away. It's what I'm saying. We're getting our steps in today. And now I'm home and we can say hello to the little Roobster and give her some belly rubs. She would like some belly rubs. Yes, she would. How you feeling, Ruby? Your nose is nearly healed from your little nose burn that you got at Neve's mother's house. And your ears are not quite as crispy as they were, and you're nearly out of season. You should be completely out of season, really, but you seem to have lasted ages. You haven't got a mum, Tom, this time, so hopefully you're not having another phantom pregnancy this. You'd be good. You'd be good. Yeah. What do you think? Wait until we get my new toy that's coming tomorrow, and then we're going to put you on it, and we're going to cook you up like a little hot dog. Like a little hot dog. You going to bite me? Dare you? Okay. Let me show you what we bought today then, shall I? Hang on. So first of all, I got one... Obviously I've done two trips to CEX. On my first trip to CEX, I got Manhunt 2 for the PlayStation Wii. That's not a thing. Manhunt 2 for the Wii. Now the reason I got this was because it's £8, right? Manhunt 2 costs not a lot on its native console, the Nintendo Wii, but it is a PlayStation 2 rarity. The PlayStation 2 version of Manhunt 2 costs £105 currently. I did, in fact, I've already got it, so I don't have a sticker for it because I click and collected it like 2 years ago when it was like £50. I managed to get ahead of the game there. So what I did was I bought this today so that when I do videos on like TikTok or whatever talking about the price difference between Manhunt 1 and Manhunt 2, I can physically hold them both and compare. But then, on my second trip to CEX, what else did we get? I bought Turok Evolution, because I think that this will have been the Turok game that I played as a child. And I bloody love dinosaurs. So anything that involves dinosaurs is a bit of me. At the start of this year, I played through the Turok reboot remake thing that came out on PS3 and 360, and that was a bit bad. That might have been the start of last year, actually. Every year sort of just blends together for me. And of course, I love Ark, Survival Evolved, Survival Ascended, whatever. And it was £2.50. So to put a £2.50 Turok game on my shelf, that's a win for me. But of course, the big boy, the purpose of the second trip was a lovely, shiny, very, very good condition Pokemon Emerald. This is very nice. It is mad to me, right? This would have been the second ever Pokemon game that I ever had as a child. This is why I wanted to get this one specifically. The first one I ever got was Pokemon Sapphire. I got Sapphire and then Emerald. And back then, because it was my first, I had no idea why it was the same bloody game twice, but this one was just improved. Because when it's your first one, you don't know the way they work yet. And obviously they did. You learn. So something I'm going to do is... I think I'm going to start collecting all of the boxed Pokemon games. But what I did was, to reduce the price of this, is I bought this straight away, took the cartridge out, and traded that back in. So this is currently an empty box. But I have my Emerald copy that I've had since my childhood upstairs that I want to keep. Because A, I know it's real because I remember getting it for Christmas in like 2004 or whatever. But also because then I can put that in here, and I've kind of effectively like took a big chunk out of the price because I got £93 on a voucher for just the cartridge. £93 voucher for just the cartridge, never mind with a box. But of course I have no intention of selling the box. So yeah, that is what we got today. And now I'm about to have me dinner because it's 6 o'clock and it's going to take like 40 minutes to cook. I'm on my own today, Neve's gone to her parents. So I'm going to do a lot of work. I need to do a lot of work in terms of my sponsors. I'm not actually wearing my protein shirt today, that's a first. I've got to post like 5 times in the next week on their behalf, so I'm going to record all of those now. So if you guys ever use my protein, use code Cayle if you're going to start losing weight, building muscle, buying supplements, protein powders, pre-workouts, workout clothes, any of that sort of thing, code Cayle at my protein. Pretty successful video. This was supposed to just be a casual, let's see what CEX has got today, but it ended up being a, let's buy one of the most expensive Pokemon games day. And yeah, lovely stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in a bit. Don't forget to subscribe. She started squeaking on her banana the second I said that. You having fun there, love?